evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How you feeling today? You alright?
Yeah, good.
You good?
Yeah, man.
Feeling all loved up?
Always.
Yeah? Few of you. My name's Luke White, aka The Daily Rev. I am your host for this evening's special event. This is Transcendence, a monthly poetry night that's inspired by... What's it inspired by? Faith. And today is a very special edition where we're throwing in some love. So you're going to feel all loved up today. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Sorry for the slightly late running, or at least getting let in late. But you know, we had to make this place special for you, so thank you for sticking with us. I've got something for you to do. You know, who's been to any of our previous nights? Put your hand up. A few of you, so we've got some new guests. Good. We like to keep you engaged through the service, so one thing I would like you to do, does anyone know what a haiku is? Has anyone heard? This hand was straight up. Yes. Then you're going to win this activity, I'm sure. A haiku, who can just shout out what it is?
5 and 7 and a 5.
5
syllable rhyme. Poem, right.
Excellent. So it's a 5, a 7 and a 5. It's a 3-line poem made up of, the first line is made up of 5 syllables. The second is made out of 7 syllables. And the third is made out of 5 syllables. Now, you are going to create your own. You are going to create your own haiku. And I'm going to give you an example of one that I made earlier. This wasn't sent to me. I made this myself. Danielle didn't send it to me. But I'm going to read it to you now. My name is Luke White. Transcendence Poetry Night. Now's your turn to write. Ooh, got some clicks up in here. Warming you up nicely. My name is Luke White. Transcendence Poetry Night. Now's your turn to write. Now, we know that you're going to put all your effort into this, so please, during the break time is the time to put this together. And there is going to be a special prize for the best poem. You are going to win a free ticket to our next Transcendence Poetry Night. How's that? Is that all right?
Just one.
Just one? Yeah, of course, you know, it's like, because you're not going to come by yourself, so you have to think so. We're not going to give you 2 now, come on. 1 free ticket. But if you split it, the other price, then you both paid half price. There you go. There's a deal. So create your own haiku poem. We want to hear it, we're going to share it, and we want you to win that prize. Is that okay with you? Tonight is sponsored by and supported by the lovely Step Forward. Where are you guys? Wow, they are in the building. So if they ask you to do anything, sometimes they have cameras with them. If they ask you to do anything, please do oblige them, do help them out. And yeah, that would be very, very, very wonderful of you. So, tonight's going to be wonderful. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you get some nice feelings from today. You know, today is all about love, and we are going to have a great time. So, next up, we want to introduce. Oh, I nearly forgot. Has anyone been watching our social media?
Yeah.
Yes. Come on, guys. Has anyone been watching our social media? Yes. Who are our special individuals that have been featured on our social media? Do we know their names? Her. Yasmin is one of them. Okay, cool. YA. Who else? What else have we seen on our social media? Jacob. Who's Jacob been in somebody's Joshua? Joshua. Yes. Who have we seen with Jacob in some of these videos? No one? Jacob and Sarah are going to be here today. Some of you are thinking, what is this about? You'll see Jacob and Sarah shortly. They're actually here on their first date. So we're going to introduce you to them later. Is that all right? Yeah? We're going to make their night special for them because, you know, this could be the deal breaker. This could be the deal breaker. First dates are important, so we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Now, the poems that you write, please hand them into any FCP member. They've got their shirts on, they've got FCP written on their shirt. Hand in your poem. We will be objective and we will be neutral. We will literally just pick the best one. All right? Is that okay? Are you sure? Positive. All right, great. Right, we're going to go into our open mic section. And the open mic section is always a special part of the evening because we hear some great, fresh talent. And for many of them, this is actually the first time that they performed. I've seen the list. One of them is a notorious open mic specialist, but I'll be nice to him today. I'll be nice to you, Jamshed. Our next, we have a list of great artists. So first up, and I want you to make them feel welcome, please welcome to the stage, Kelvin Osei Owusu. Round of applause, please.
I didn't think I was going to go on this early. Alright, cool. I'll just go straight into it. Don't want to talk to. Actually, let me introduce myself. My name is Kelvin.
Hey,
Kelvin. Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, nice. Never seen split seeds. I've only seen split seeds and broken families. I've watched my dad lose his sanity. This is just a snippet of my family. But this is probably parallel to another other. You have a dad, but do you really have a father, brother? My mum laid her life, now I'm standing. Feel like my dad lost her mind and panicked. Her hand slipped on the gear and her mind's gone crashing. I can tell you more, but this isn't even a fraction. Cause my mum raised me, God saved me, and my dad needs strength like Samson there, both pushing pillars to kill each other. Screaming, God give me strength, this is so sinister. That's why I spit poetry when I minister. I use my wordship to worship. Building foundations whilst they listen to the serpent whisper. Have you ever listened to Adam and Eve? They're able to cane each other with words and hide behind trees. I told you, I'm not into poetry, I am the poetry. Just got one more for you, that's it. Let me see past your makeup and see if Christ is your foundation. Let me see past your fakeness and see why you find it hard to relate. Cause you contour your pride and you blend in your tears. But when I look at you, I can highlight your pain as you brush in your fear, and I'm discerning. Cause you wear your smile like a chore. A man violated and you're hurting, so you anticipate shots like a keeper in the box. Plenty make shots and they keep you in the box. Christ is at your door and you always keep it locked, and you know this. Always tweeting, baby girl, focus. Your prayer life is buffering and you talk process like it's downloading. There's a difference. But I can see the lies through your teeth. Cause the scar in your head is connected to the hole in your heart. But can't you see the hole in his hand? He wants to make you whole in your heart. So he says, yet adore, I love you. Pardon my French. Can't you see that you're brighter than the stars? Can't you see that he drew you before you could draw for a brush? A collection of beauty. You're above the angels. He calls you fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kelvin, for being the first up here. I know it's not easy up here. I'm a little bit nervous myself. I don't know why. I'm a bit jittery myself, so I appreciate that. Make him feel welcome, guys. Come on, round of applause, round of applause. Kelvin setting the stage nicely. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. Beautiful wordsmanship. Next up, we have another newbie. This might be her first time. She'll probably tell us. She might tell us on the mic, but please make her feel welcome. Abigail A. Round of applause, please.
But hi everyone, I'm Abigail, known as Adego on social media. So I'm going to be speaking a poem that I wrote to encourage myself and to encourage everyone around me. And it's called Why Choose Mediocrity. Why choose mediocrity when you can choose greater? Why limit your abilities below the standards of our Creator? Procrastinating, never now, always later, because these days it seems like fear and not faith is what we favor, so we wait for society's permission. Leading a life of submission to the system of fitting in. Keeping our light just dim enough in order to be hidden, so we don't shine too bright, right? or just low enough to stop it from obstructing someone else's vision. These days we seem to show faith even smaller than that mustard seed. But see, seeds grow, like potential. So even if your life is looking soily and dim, please water the talents that you have been given, because it's okay to start small, but stagnation is a no. Yes, he is the vine and we are the branches, but there is still sufficient space to grow. Mediocrity. It's like a bird that can fly but just won't. So instead of soaring, you'll soar about the achievements of every other person, but imagine how different it would be if you lived out what Jesus saw, the truth. And sadly, demographically, it's the youth. Demographically, they're just satisfied using any other excuse. But what if young David did that and looked down at his abilities with aloof? But no, he became greater than the greatest with one lethal shot at it, biblical proof. So why choose mediocrity when you can choose greater? Step out, be bold, shine your light. At least do yourself that favor. I said, why choose mediocrity when you can choose greater? Step out, be bold, shine your light, because you are highly favored. Thank you.
Abigail A, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up, we have the one, the only, Zonda James. Round of applause for Zonda James, please. Zonda. Zonda has temporarily left the building. I think his date did not turn up tonight, so he refuses to be here by himself. No worries, Zonda. I know the feeling. So we're going to move right on to Mr. Jamshed. Round of applause for Jamshed, please. Come on, come on. I see you brought your family. Okay, fair enough.
Evening, everyone. Can we give it up for the band, please? I feel like a neo soul singer up here, man. Right, so I just finished this piece a couple of hours ago. Forgive me if I look at my phone. The next 28 years of my life won't be like the first, I promise you. Healing is the motive, motivating me to pass water over the past. Grabbing firm with one hand and letting go with the other. The Quran says balance is the key and I'm getting it. Standing firm in the middle of two epochs, arms stretched between them. See, I've got a lot to teach and so much more to learn. I come in peace, wrapped in so much hurt. Overcome with fatigue, yet there's so much work, but it will get easier. I'm saying it in faith that it will get easier. I'm looking forward to fatherhood. Cradling the next 75 in my arms, I'll teach them love, peace, kindness. I'll teach them making their mother smile will be one of their biggest achievements. It certainly is mine. Have you seen the way I look at her? That's love. Have you seen the way she laughs at my jokes? That's kindness. I wish you saw the way she carried you. That's strength. I wish you saw the way she carried me while I carried us. Give me some clicks, give me some clicks. You guys know, you guys know, you guys know. I wish you saw the way she carried you. That's strength. I wish you saw the way she carried me while I carried us, and I've been carrying a lot for the past 28 years. But it's time to let go. I'm learning one of the hardest things to do in life is to forgive. Especially when there's no apology. Especially when it's forgiving yourself. Especially when it's family. They tell me forgiving is more about me than it is about her, then why does it hurt so much? It feels like swallowing the sharp, shattered pieces of your own broken heart and calling it healing. And I don't understand it, but I can feel that it's necessary. So I forgive my parents for not being superhuman, but only human. And I forgive myself for not realizing that sooner. I forgive my wider family for not understanding the associations to that word. There's a thin line between family and hate that I struggle with. I forgive the elders in the mosque for living a double life. For they too are only human. And here's the hardest one. I forgive God for working in mysterious ways when I needed clarity. But I'm learning that it's all necessary. And my peace will come from knowing that it's all necessary. See, I'm not wiping the slate clean. I'm learning how to smile at it. And the next 28 years of my life won't be like the first. You can count on it. Jamshed Ahmed, thank you.
Jamshed Ahmed. Round of applause again. Come on, keep the love, keep the love, keep the love, keep the love. You know, the greatest thing about seeing the evolution of Jamshed is that actually he performed for the first time at the first Transcendence Poetry Night. He performed that second one. This is the third night he's performed again, and we get to be part of your journey. Thank you so much, Jamshed. Appreciate it every single time. And if you want to also evolve in your wordsmanship, feel free to just message us or speak to us now about performing at the next event, and we can be part of your journey also. Is that all right? Any budding aspiring poets here today? Okay. Well, if you're even feeling like being part of tonight, it's not too late. But next up, we've got Didani Diodio. Round of applause for Didani Diodio, please.
Hello and happy Valentine's. So I'm really happy to be here. So my first introduction to spoken word was in Baltimore. And every Thursday in Baltimore in a little cafe called Peace and a Cup of Joe, a lot of people would come together to share their poetry, their music, their art. And sometimes it was so good that it felt spiritual. And I would look at them and I'd be like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do spoken word. I didn't know what it was, I didn't know how to do it. But then, after one of the days, I decided I'm gonna try it. So this poem here is a poem that I did, or a spoken word piece that I did, inspired by those people. And it's called On Seeing God. I think maybe I just saw God. And I say maybe because I beheld him with my ears. It would never be enough to say that I heard him. A simple sound isn't something that the heart races for the heart is a dreaming thing, chasing after visions it might find rest in. I think maybe I was just walking with God. And I say maybe, because as I look back, I see no footprints in the sand, just words that drop from your lips to mark the trail that takes us back to truth, from which we came, to which we wait to return. I think maybe I just touched God. And I say maybe because I felt him with my eyes, and now they are bleeding tears. You see, as you sprinkled that secret chord across those 6 strings, I had to sigh. I closed my eyes and cut him from view. What I saw, what touched and carried me, was a man with bent shoulders and hooded eyes, speaking words that are God, makers of light within my darkened mind, Selah. And he was a girl enclosed within the thickness of her glassy paradigm. She stood serenading smiles into my face, thrones gently curved by the strength of her soprano, the very sound of grace. Blessed was I, as she created in me a place where the pleasure of God could come and sit and be embraced. So maybe I was walking with God as he stood 2 rows ahead of me, speaking words that I could see, painting pictures from my ears. I say maybe, because my senses and I forget ourselves in the presence of the Lord. I say maybe, because whenever you stop your sweet song, I can never remember any further than the beginning. No one has ever seen God. But then you saw it again, and I remember how the end began. But if you show love to one another, send your heart and art from one to the other, then I will be made complete in you. I will cause you to return to what you forgot you knew. Don't you remember? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And through it all things were made so that finally the spoken word could be heard and held and given and written and birthed and called. I am more than something to be indulged with just one sense at a time. And where I am not, your ears forget that they were also made to laugh, your eyes to feel, your mouth to listen. So you, the pure of heart who have seen God, speak to me, sing to me, strum to me more, and send me away to a place of certainty, because I want to see God. Wow. Thank you. Wow.
One, two, round of applause for Didani, please. She literally flew all the way in just this morning to be with us. We thank you so much. We didn't realise our reach was so far. We appreciate it. And we will have you back here anytime. All right, we've got 2 more artists for you in this part of the evening. Are you enjoying our open mic artists? Are you sure? Thank you. Joshua's involved here. I want to see some more kind of Joshua vibes coming from everyone. Are you happy to be here? Are you enjoying the open mic artists? Excellent. Next up, we have Saint CJ. Round of applause for Saint CJ, please!
Yes, indeedy. He feels good to be here tonight. You guys can do better than that. He's feeling good to be here tonight. Yeah. So I'm Saint CJ. This is like my second poem, so it's something new that I'm trying to do. So please bear with me, show me some grace. And happy Valentine's Day to everyone. For everyone that is single, big you up as well. We know Jesus is our Valentine, amen. Amen. But yeah, so I'm going to be talking about love versus lust in this poem. So it's all about what we see love to be and what we see lust to be, and what it really means to truly love. So I'm going to give you two Wikipedia definitions. So we've got love. Love encompasses a variety of strong, positive emotions and mental states ranging from the most sublime virtue or good habit, the deepest interpersonal affection, and to the simplest of pleasure. It ranges in many different ways. But then we have lust. See, lust is a psychological force proceeding intense wanting or longing for an object or circumstance of fulfilling the emotion. Lust can take any form, such as lust for sexuality, love, money, or power. So I gave you that love is positive, tends to be, and lust tends to be self-seeking. But in our society, we see that it becomes very blurred. Love and lust, society says they're the same. If I look upon a woman and have desires in my heart, that's natural if I then degrade her to the fantasies of my mind. See, love and lust can seem to be the same because we hear these phrases like love is love, but then it has no understanding of commitment. Love is love, that means I can love anyone I want to, even if it's damaging to myself. We have these agendas of love is love, where we see men and women, but then we have no understanding of biblical unity. See, we see love being something that is for me and how I feel and what I want, and selfishness, and it's just fused together. But then don't we understand that love is supposed to be selfless? Love is supposed to be kind. Yes, we understand that, but then we never live that. I see love in many people's eyes is greed for themselves. The love of money then makes people weaker. The love of money makes people lesser. The love of money puts greed in people's hearts. I see people that say that they love God, but they see a homeless man on the street and they close their arms because they say that all they're going to do is damage themselves. I see people that say they love, but they will only serve to get something in return. They'll only do something right for you so that they can get something in return. They ain't being selfless. They're being self-seeking, but in a seems like a serving way. But then I look to the cross and I realize that there's a true love that we can put our hope in. See, a love that's not temporal, a love that's not material, a love that's not fading based on circumstances, condition, class, color, gender, whatever you may see. A love that is unconditional, a love found through Elohim, a love found through the cross, nails in his hands and feet. That is the love of Jesus. That is true love, the true vine. Seek it and you will find. On this Valentine's Day, don't forget the true reason for the season. Don't forget what true love is, the greatest love of all. The love of Jesus. Love, lust, they are different, they are opposite. Don't ever let them get them blurred. Love is not love, love is God. Amen. So, I've been asked to do a little song, because I mainly do singing. So, if you guys are able to stand up, please do. Yeah, we can have a little bit of fun, man. So, yeah, let's go for it. Yeah. Hey, if you guys remember this song back in the day, there's a little remix to it. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus, you're the one, it's you, the one I've been looking for, searching all the things in this world and it never feels satisfied. Put my heart, put my hope in the great I am and he set me free. See, Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Everything I'm looking for, everything I'm turning to, but it's never satisfied. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. See, Jesus, you're the one, it's you, the one I've been looking for. All my life I searched around the world, you never find it, oh no, no, no. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Everything that I've turned into can satisfy this hole in my heart. Nothing can satisfy, nah, I can't deny the love of Jesus is greater than the stars in the sky. Hit the cross where he died, crucified, paid the price for my life, so I give him all the glory. Yeah, you know he changed my story. In 3 days, he goes. So I lift my hands and I say, Jesus is the one, it's you on Valentine's Day. Jesus is the one, it's you, the one that I'm turning to. Yeah, yeah, everything you put me through, I will trust in you. Yeah, yeah, Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Come on, sing it with me. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Everything I'm going through, I can never get enough. Everything I've gone through, it's all because of your grace. It's all because of your grace. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Yeah. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. You be pulling me through every trial and tribulation I've been going through. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. So I'm saying, yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus, you're the yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus, you're the yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Hey, hey, everything I'm going through, every single trial and tribulation that you're pulling me through. Yeah, there's no greater love than God's love. There's no greater love than God's love. Cause you can look in the money, you can look in the girls, you can look in the drugs, you can look in the pearls, but nothing can ever satisfy the love like Jesus can. On Valentine's Day, I will lift my hand and say that Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Can you help me say, Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Hey, Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Jesus, you're the one, it's you. Yeah, yeah. Everything I'm going through, Jesus, you're the one, it's you.
Round of applause for Saint CJ, aka Drake, up in the place. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Wow, wow. Thank you so much, the multi-talented, Grammy Award-winning Saint CJ, bringing the house down. Was that all right? We only bring you the best day. What can I say? What can I say? And we still got more to come. Our next open mic artist is the wonderful Dana Dajani. Dana Dajani, join us. Ah, good to see you. Come here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome salam.
I'm really excited to be here this evening. I actually live in Dubai. I'm in London for a show I have tomorrow at the Rich Mix. And I've gotten to come and join a couple different poetry communities, so really excited to be among you all in the good energy tonight. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's kind of weird, no? That we have like a day for love on the calendar. It rolls around once a year like Groundhog Day or Boxing Day. It's weird. Every day is Valentine's Day, no?
Yeah.
Can we do something? Can we have a moment to ground together before I do the poem? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. I want you to do something for me. I'd like you to close your eyes. And I'd like you to take a breath. And think about the people that you love most in the world. Just like list them out through your head, and you know why you love them. You know why they're precious to you. And I want you to think about all that gratitude that you have, and that love and respect and care and vulnerability. And like, feel it in your body. Is it in your chest? Is it in your belly? Put your hand on your chest, and I want you to take a big breath in. And as you exhale, I want to see if you can commit to giving this much love to yourself. I love myself. I am enough. I'm grateful for what I've got. My boundaries protect me because I love myself. I am enough. I'm grateful for what I've got. My boundaries protect me. The piece I'm going to perform tonight is inspired by a dope sister who rhymes, Aquanaru, who says, self-love is the very first romance. My name is Dana Dejani. The piece is called The Way We Are Wound. And let's give the band a round of applause. We'll give them a break. A sound takes me back to a memory, a wind up, and then a melody. As I watch a mechanical ballerina spin, silver box top reflecting jewels and trinkets within. And this is where the tragedy of comparison begins. Tall and slender, perched on a pedestal, sad but proud. As a young girl, I mirrored her as she spun around, perfect, surrounded by ornaments of beauty, valued for their scarcity. See, those stones are treasured because they're rare and unique. But in the features of a woman, are those the same qualities we seek? Or in the pursuit of self-materialization, do we sell our souls for empty idolization? On billboards, the gold standard is swapped for the golden ratio. Fit the mold and appreciation will follow, and this is the way we are wound. Beauty is not found, it is manufactured. Ah, sweet femininity. Ah, days of simplicity basking in the warm sun, soaking up the adoration of my mom. What will I become? Anything's possible when you're young. Imagining different roles as we'd play, dress up, I'd often slip into a certain pair of my mother's shoes, ones with bright sequins in the shape of exotic fruits, waiting for the day that I would measure up, always in such a hurry to grow up, innocence fading, finger painting quickly replaced by makeup, shading my features, slowly jaded as time passed. I watched my shadow cast beneath me, angry at the sun now for being so unflattering. I wanted long nails and a bust. A small waist was a must because the standard of beauty was predetermined in my 17 magazine, automated by the machine, carbon copy beauty queen mannequins pumped out on industrial work lines. Silicone fillers and Botox pumped in to plump up laugh lines. And every goddess started to look the same, furthering the notion that we must tame our individual identities and conform to someone else's idea of normal. Barbie, plastic, nameless, static, confused and uncomfortable in my own skin. All I wanted was to spin ballerina thin to fit in, to age with dignity and grace, not replace the parts of me that reveal my age. So instead, I learned to embrace them, and the tragedy of comparison ended there. As a young woman, I grew to love my body for its wabi-sabi, as the Japanese call it, perfect imperfections. And I see myself spinning. For a little girl who won't ever receive a jewelry box from me, I will be the only jewel she sees because I want her to be free to create her own identity. And reflecting that beauty starts in me. I'm Dana Dejani, thank you.
Wow. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. The problem is I want to have like a full interview now. But we've got to move on. But hopefully, if we get some time, cameraman, videographer, let's. I really want to know more about the inspiration for that poem. But hopefully, we'll get the time later on. Next up, we have our last open mic artist. Am I right? Of course, I'm right. I'm always right. Can we have a round of applause for Poetica? Round of applause, please.
My name's Poetica, I write, I speak, I do other things. This is called Zion Speaks. 'Tis the time to spit the rhymes of struggles live, conflicted minds, admit the signs that show the pathways to time chambers, providing portals to life changers, the roads that lead to different realities, disposing of insanities and calamities in the tragedy of this Shakespearean tale. Off the rails. The trains that train so they can transport and keep you on track to true treks and trying tribulations. This life is a stimulation of carefully situated situations. Glitch in the station. Technical. The steps in this journey are technical. Have to make moves strategically, remembering that when I've hurt myself again, it's Yah who's relieving me, leading me to realms of promised lands. These things are real, I promised land, and you got my word, woman. And it's absurd, woman, that you have to struggle that bit more and stay alert, woman, biting the apple. Walking in chains and shackles, encased in yokes of iron, talking of pains and battles in case we stay woke to Zion and conscious enough to endure the fall of Babylon. And the spirit of the Creator, we are going to carry on, globetrotters and vagabonds gathering bruise on the way, Levitical, vanquishing the political, orchestrating these songs I play, we right our wrongs, lyrical songs replay, projecting praises to the high priest, Melchizedek, Hamashiach, you're not ready yet for me to mash it up, freestyling now, we smiling, how in an existence that portrays persistence of a construct lacking in heaven, stacking in sevens to continue with completion, reciprocate some energy so I don't faint with depletion, I release them, the krakens and the minotaurs to wreak havoc, creating distractions to fly away, swinging on hammocks I lie and wait for the sunset to relieve me of the challenges of the day, managing from the savages, clearing them out the way, knowing that not everything that comes our way is meant to be acted upon. These seeds full of dreams and wants will fall on rocks instead of fertile soil, spoiled, desire turns into idolatry, solitary folly folds into the creases of the fabric of this distorted reality show, insanity flows when seeking answers for questions that nobody knows of except the one who created you, elated, quickly changes into being deflated because expectations aren't met or recognized. I reckon I should just take my hand off of the things I see potential in. And with prophecy in palm, I wreak havoc and catastrophe when amplifying psalms so you can sing hymns unto him, giving praises unto who it's due. At first I wondered who was you, then I began to see with eyes of old, of ancient times, of stories told, depicting countless lifetimes, conflicting countless right minds, making terrible decisions, leading to collisions, all these delusions creating concrete confusions that lead to the generations stuck in paradigms of ill conclusions. Thank you.
Come on. Thank you so much, Poetica. Absolutely amazing. In fact, can we have a big round of applause for all of our open mic artists? They've done so well. Thank you so much. All those who said that they'd like to be part of a future Transcendence, please let Danielle know. She'll take your details and you could be up on this stage at our next event. Now we're gonna have some fun, some more fun. Band, I hope they told you about this bit. We're gonna have a little game and name that tune. The band, all right. The band are gonna play a tune, and I wanna see your hand when you know what the tune is, all right? And I'll stop the band and we'll shout it out. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Good. All right. First up. No, the drummer's just asking the pianist what the song is, so can you just turn around right now while we're having a conversation? Thank you. No, seriously, can you turn? All right, ready? All right, hold on, they got hands. All right. Let them play a minute, let them play 30 seconds, give them a chance. They came all this way. Who knows? Who had that?
Never too much, people.
People man John's never too much. Are they right? I said, are they right? All right, cool. Next tune, let's go. Okay, so, all right. You have to play the rules were. All right. Let them play a good 30 seconds. idea. Who thinks they know? Let me get a bit. All right, thank you. I like it. Okay, next tune. Okay, true. Alicia Keys, If I Ain't Got You, lovely, lovely, jubbly. I think that's right. I actually wrote that one for her, but anyway, we won't go there right now. You don't believe me? Oh, next tune. Any hand?
Sing it. Who's gonna sing it?
What is that? No.
I know it, but I can't remember.
Any hands? Alright, fair enough. In the bridge, I think. Hold on, you've got to take care. 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Alright, 1,000 years. 1,000 years by Luke White. He done all of these. Christina Perry. By Christina Perry. You know Christina Perry?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 people know Christina Perry. I'm glad she's not here. She'd be so upset right now. Alright, next tune, please. Ooh, this is a good one. This time the guitarist doesn't know. Just give him a chance. Alright. Put your hand up when you know. Any takers? Any hands? In the Knees by SWV. Is that correct, people? Is that correct? Yeah? I don't know them old tunes. Yeah, it is correct. Well done. Alright. Next up. I might have to sing this one. You may have noticed, I'll just let you know, there's a little bit of a theme to the songs. I don't know if you noticed. Hopefully that helps. Okay, we got a hand up. That was That was all together now. All right, by who? Yeah. Lovely. All right, we've got 2 more to go. Let's go, man. This one is. Any takers? Any hands? Any takers? It's not, but I'm all right, that was good job. We had another option down here that we would have gone with, but then you got it, so that's cool. All right, last one. You're having fun. I like this. This is cool. Might add a few more on there. Everyone's like, no, dude, this is enough. The one who gets this one right wins chicken. Wins chicken. Is it live chicken? However you want it. Live chicken, boiled chicken. All right, here we go. I didn't know this, and I got the answer. Any takers? Oh, we got a hand.
John Legend's Ordinary People.
Now they're just shouting out the song. Sorry, nearly. Try again. Say again. What's this? Alright, we're gonna go answer. Ashley's right. Good job. Sorry. Round of applause for our band. Round of applause for our house band, Jazz Flavors. Round of applause for Jazz Flavors. right, cool. So now we're gonna have a break, a quick 10-minute break. Please make sure to grab some food, grab a drink, have a toilet break, whatever you need. Be back here in 10 minutes. Remember, there's a photo booth as well. Get your photo taken. And remember to write your haiku, please. Write your haiku, give it into one of us, win a prize. See you in 10 minutes. All of them ordered the rules. Anyone else with a haiku? Anyone else? Anyone else? Otherwise, Andrew's got 3 entries and Sharika's got 1, so it's going to that family for sure. Do we have any other entries? Yes?
Yes.
Do yours.
Yes. Yes. Jamie's going to do it. Yes.
All right, I'll read it.
Luke, these two are.
Okay, these are all right. I'm loving myself. Loving insecurities. Ooh. My peace is coming. Clicks. Can we get some clicks up in here? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you. Yeah? Oh, the entry. Thank you. Oh, you got theirs. They don't have names on, I don't think so. The one that wins is mine. Okay. Anyone else? Any other haikus? This is good. This is.
One down here.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
I have to do it in a Bayesian accent though.
You're allowed.
L-O-V-E what? Alright, I'll get a shot. I hit the jackpot.
Love it. Wow. Is there no end to the creativity in this room? I mean, come on. Who's next with the haiku? Everyone's like, nah, just put it back in their pocket. I don't know Bayesian. All right, go on.
Okay. Feb 1-4 tonight. But love transcends one night, right? Let love loose, not tight.
2 more solid entries. Are there any other entries into our haiku competition? It's all right. If you're still writing, don't worry. You have another opportunity. We've got another break coming up. I see some people desperately going, that word's too long. Can't fit. Don't worry. We'll have another opportunity to enter. So cool. We got those. Excellent. Good job, guys. I'm really impressed. I will write mine later and enter it also. Next up, we have our first featured artist of the evening. He is a poet and he's a producer from South London, so he's come really far, all the way from South London. You may know him for his live music and poetry showcase called Vocal and Verses. Oh, I know that. I've been there. He is, he has an interesting blend of themes in his poetry, from manhood to culture to relationships. It's all there. Please, round of applause for the amazing Benjamin Bennett. Round of applause, please! Come on, give him some, give him some, give him some, give him some.
How are we feeling?
Good.
Are we good? 2.5 people are good. Are we good? Yes! Okay. My name is Benjamin Bennett. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
How are we enjoying the show? Enjoying the act so far?
Yeah.
Fantastic. How many people are here with their babe, with their bae, with their significant other? A few people. Okay. Wonderful. So the pieces I'm going to do today are very romantic. On a romantic side, it's Valentine's Day, so it's only right. The way I so I was like yes. The way I started writing poetry was literally romantic poetry. in year 8, I used to write to my girlfriend. So that's kind of like where I started. That's where I kind of got into poetry properly. So I'm going to give you some pieces kind of around that. For those who are on social media, I like to get that out of the way. Anyone on Instagram? Yeah. Anyone on Twitter? Anyone on Facebook? If you're on Facebook, get Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Benjamin B. Just let me know what you think of my pieces. I did an internet poetry event for the first time in December. Been writing and performing poetry kind of on and off for the past probably 8 or so years, probably 8-9 years. And in December I did my first intimate headline poetry event, so I did a whole range of poems. So these 2 pieces are from that show. So the first piece is called Red Wine. Glasses of red wine. Neither of us likes the way it tastes, but it makes us look cool. Reinforces the romanticism. Makes us feel like we're free of our words. I tell you that the chocolate in your complexion could tempt God's sweet tooth. You reply and say, I'm the first man who has ever made your skin feel holy. And I'm shocked. Shocked that a man would look at you and see anything other than an altar. A black bridge to heaven. A carriageway to Christ. You've listened to the men in this world for far too long. Men who tell you your skin is a synonym for rage and exotic difficulty. As if you are the great Congo rainforest itself. You are not an overpowering force of nature, but you are powerful. Powerful enough to resurrect the poet in me, because I truly believed he was dead and buried until I listened to the harmonies and the sound of you breathing, and I realized there are still things I need to write about. Your presence is a present. Hours spent with you are a gift I cannot stop showing gratitude for. I mourn our goodbyes. I gush when we greet. I like watching you think. How you look up at the firmament before answering my probing questions. How many children do you want? 2, 3, the 13th tribe of Israel? How many different versions of you do we need to reproduce so you can last forever? Let's leave legacies as durable as the tombs of Old Testament kings. You make my lap a throne. Together we are a sub-Saharan monarchy. We kiss like it's breaking the law if we don't. Criminals in cohabitation. We've pushed physical boundaries. We know the implications, as well as our index fingers, as well as the spines of our tattered Bibles. You make fun that time, the son of a preacher who fled the temple to dwell in the marketplace, and I'd still be there. If not for the moral compass in your heart's beat. I swear, red wine makes me ramble. Thank you. Okay, who knows about the love languages? Love languages, okay. Someone's like, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, for those who don't know, this guy called, I think his name is Gary Chapman, basically said like humans love in 5 different ways, or have love and like to be loved in 5 different ways. Who knows what they are? So physical touch, receiving gifts, words of affirmation. So I heard someone say customer service. Sorry. Sorry. What was it? What was it called? Fulcrum thing? Sorry. Acts of service. Okay. And quality time. Okay. Cool. Who's acts of service? Raise your hands if you're acts of service. And I'm aware you can be more than one, like, so it's fine if you put your hand up more than once. Who is receiving gifts?
Don't lie.
Yeah, don't lie. Put your hand up with your chest, yes. Be materialistic with your chest, yes. Go for it. Who's physical touch? Yeah, there's no judgment in this room, so don't worry, it's fine. What else is there? Quality time. Quality time. Words of affirmation. That's me. Words of affirmation. That's totally me. Just tell me nice things and I'm yours, literally. So this piece I'm gonna do is called "Tell Me," and pretty much I set myself a target to like write pieces about each of the love languages, and I literally only made it to words of affirmation. So yeah, the band are gonna help me out with this. Yeah. As I said again, Instagram, Mr. Benjamin B. I've put out videos from my past, my show in December, so they're on YouTube. I'm going to be putting them out every so often. Going to reduce the bass in because my voice is already somehow, so if you can just, thank you. Give it up for the band, by the way. Do I still make you feel nervous? I heard the trembling trickling off your words the last time we spoke. Like I'd taken you to the edge of a Scandinavian mountaintop with the climax of our conversation. I meant everything I said, with all sincerity accessible to humankind, and I understand it's overwhelming. We only met in the summer, but it's the way you coaxed the sun to come out of the clouds with the melody in your laugh that got me. Not even the sky is a large enough canvas to convey the ways I want you, so tell me, do you want me back? Do you want me more? Do you want me less? Do you want every exchange of words to be an experience we wish we could replay, because every syllable sounds like songs sung by celestial singers in that special section of heaven we almost always find ourselves whenever we speak? Synchronized by spirits or something like that. I don't know. When light years past comprehension. Tell me if you hold my hand like you believe we are predestined to be one. Tell me if that oneness is eternal and it comes under the subjection of the Trinity. Tell me if I'm getting too deep. I can never skim over the surface with us. And we are not to be taken at face value. I place value in everything you say. You're the only woman I know with a diamond mind for a mouth. You shine even when you're shy. Tell me how you make humility look like the best ball gown you could have ever bought. Can I take you to the prom of passion with this poem? Pivot and pirouette around the dance floors in your ears. Tell me how audible my affection is. Put your ear against my chest and listen to how my heartbeat sounds like a thunderstorm. If you've ever doubted my affinity for you, you can find affirmation in my arteries, because this is just as internal as it is verbal. So tell me how you infiltrated the infrastructure of my insides. I stopped trying to stop myself from falling for you. The moment I realized that your gravitational pull would always win. You keep me grounded, but never long enough to stop me striding into the stratosphere with you. So tell me. Tell me how you do that. My name is Benjamin Bennett. Thank you very much for having me. Enjoy the rest of the show.
applause for Benjamin Bennett, please. That was Benjamin's first time also, so of course not. Thank you so much, Benjamin. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you. Was that all right?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's give it up for the band one more time. No request is too much. Anything you ask, like, yeah, sure, we'll make it happen. Love that type of energy. Thank you so much. Jazz Flavors. So next up, we have another special artist. Our featured guest. Her name is Y.A. Poetria. Y.A., also known as Yasmin Ali, is a spoken word artist and performance poet. Writer, playwright, singer, songwriter, also from South London. Oh dear, we've got oh dear. Tottenham supporter, right? As a young Asian woman raising children of West Indian descent, she challenges some of the most common misconceptions and stereotypes and epitomizes diversity in her work. Yasmin's pieces often emphasize the importance of empowerment, self-reflection, and self-love. Please give it up for Y.A. Round of applause, please! Keep it coming, 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 keep it coming.
Thank you. Okay, I'm trying to keep the intro short because I've broken some rules a little bit. It's my mum's birthday and she's in the house tonight. Special shout out to Mum, who even though knew I was after Benjamin, kept saying, do you want food? Do you want food? No, not now, not now. So happy birthday, Mum. I put a little something together quickly for you. I'll be as quick as I can. Look how quick it is. Okay, right, go. I'm your $1 million baby. So thankful that you made me. When everybody doubted, it was your faith that saved me 3 whole months early. You were nearly lost that night, lay in a pool of blood just to give me life. We both had to fight to survive. Now I'm blessed with your intellect, the beauty of your mind. I'm so grateful that you're mine, so grateful that I'm you, so thankful for this life, so humble we pull through. You're my core, so much more, you're adored by me. Forevermore I'm stored in your flesh, you see, I'm your seed, carried through my DNA. You're the reason I wake up each day, you're the very best of me. You're more than your United Nations awards. You're more than your travelling to give aid abroad. You're more than the charities you helped to set up. You're the reason why we all feel blessed. I can't express, do justice to the fact that you're the best, so I digress, get upset. I can't write a poem about you. I'm driven close to tears at the thought of living without you. But we both know what you've been through, and I promise soon I'll show you. You're truly loved by me and everyone who knows you. Thank you.
Come on.
I've been reminiscing. I've been wishing for a way to convey the things I need to say in such a short space and a fast pace to add to the way the words resonate when you listen. I've been feeling nostalgic. Over days I thought I was about it. I used to walk around with those who couldn't doubt it. My self-esteem was like a light beam. It would beam in your eyes, making you blind. My light so bright, people would stop in their tracks as they stopped in my sight. I'd smile and walk by. At that very time when my very existence had no resistance. If people thought I was different, it's because I knew I was gifted. Young and ambitious, back then it was ridiculous. Sometimes I'd write so well, even I got suspicious. Don't get it twisted, now we're 10 years on. And while that confidence is back, that kind of level's gone. Life came and took it. I put it back on my wish list. I had to go through things that made me pessimistic. I could have been a cynic, cold and ungiving. I apologized to God to ask for forgiveness. He had it scripted. I never listened. I'd only feel it. But 10 years on, it's got me strong in my realness. Yeah, I'm a realist. Realists will feel this. I stay one with God because I know what the deal is. His words will heal it. My words will seal it. Certain times it's that I am from bad minds that will steal it. I've been broke. I don't mean broke as a joke when you're out with your friends and you're drinking the mixer, hoping they missed you round, last round because you're down to your last pound. Can't even buy your own round to wash down the last as they laugh on the last topic that they shout because you're out but you can't leave now. I'm talking about the kind of broke you can't take to the shop and top up for hot water. You need hot water, so you resort to kettle, water, washes. It's a lot. When your plans for life stop still, it's a stop still. Still you don't stay still. I remember how I'd feel. Now I recall those times at my will. Now I love those occasions and my motivation and my past pain and a now in the making. I remember claiming this little girl in my face and how my whole life changed overnight on that day and with nothing to give her. I cried me a river, now I smile inside because I know I deliver. I'll never go back there. Back when I couldn't even afford to plait her hair. Kaylee had me on the sofa, gave me her comb and said, Jazz, here. I remember right there, nothing but pain that year. I remember right there, I learned about patience. I learned about creations, nothing to my name, but times are changing. I don't feel like a failure, so I'm not failing. There's no way, it's hard to explain, it's quite complicated. Just know I can't fail in life, I must make it. I depend on my dependents. My legacy might be this, so it can't be suspended for my descendants. Shout out to pretend friends, the kind that have me round on the weekend on a pretense for information, to help with their dissertation. I would work on that thing like it was for my graduation. Now we're estranged and you can walk past, huh? Hit me back on your masters. My words are art, I gotta be smart. I talk from my heart, I learn from my past. I respect myself. It's been a long time coming, but I protect myself. I control my emotions so I don't upset myself. And I stand on this stage so I don't neglect myself. This is for my health. This is for me time. This is for an outlet. This is for an insight. This is to explore my enlightenment. I love the wordplay. I love the words and play with the words as a words play. Out in verse, they change, rearrange and emerge in a new way. As I rehearse, say back the verse like the liner in my purse. I carry new lines. I come with one-liners. Transcend the light and transform your mind. It's appreciation. Some of the best lyrics I ever wrote because of you and I made them. 5:30 a.m. standing there waiting with a flow so strong I would train at that station. Determination.
Hey.
I memorized that whole thing. I stood on stage like I was impatient, like, why are we waiting? I can't contain it. I need to say it. Dive right in. Now we drive right in. I strive. I'm on a striving thing, a writing thing. Relax your mind and think back to the way I wander, the way I'd beam in their eyes, making them blind. My light so bright, people would stop in their tracks as they stopped in my sight. I'd smile and walk by. Now I stop and say hi. Why? Because I deserve it. I think I earned it. I put the work in. I think I'm worth it. I think I'm worthy. I was reborn from the depths of my depression to emerge and to metamorphosize into what you now see. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes metaphorically. I appear in my true form to speak the truth fully to those who seek the truth fully. Understanding the purpose of my creativity, positivity. Lyrically, I alchemize the words metaphysically. I am physically here, but my mind is somewhere high. So I say hi to remind myself where I reside. A heavenly place where my faith collides with a previous state of pain when my past survives. Yeah. I've changed. I'm not sorry. I took pain and that owed me to refrain from a journey sustained by my worry. I set sail in a hurry, and I loved before I loved me. Now it's hard to adjust, see. I look back at my body as I lay there. The tears were all around me, but I'd stay there. Days there, felt crazy, unfazed. Now I pinpoint my pain there. It all felt so unfair. I was unaware, unprepared, so scared from the pain that I bared. Now I mean it when I say that I play there. Now I think of that time when I'm in overdrive. Over time I've learned to recognise when my hurt subsides. I took back my life. At times it felt trying, at times I couldn't fight it. My life, it weren't right. My life, it felt like it wasn't even mine. At a time when my life felt unlivable. I was hard on myself, unforgivable. I was broken inside, unfixable. Now I healed my mind at that pinnacle. Now I'm lyrical, right? My miracle feels mythical. I fought the unthinkable. I said I fought the unthinkable. Past to my present, that's a physical. No longer critical and miserable. Now I'm jaded, I left fear, I'm invisible. Now I activate the mind subliminal. As I talk of my life, non-fictional. Through it all, he heard my call. Now I've seen it all, seen the flaw, seen my fall. as I fell straight down, scared of the ground. I can still hear the sound of his voice when I bounce. I called out, I pronounced the prayers out loud for words to impact my land. He turned the tarmac to hands, surroundings to sand. He turned my tears to a river and I swam through. He whispered in my ear, I will catch you. He told me, hold out your hand. He said, hold you. And I dispersed with that pollen from that blossom he had sent to carry me through. Saying prayers I knew, I had fought through, defiant and true. Yeah, I fought you, now I call to you, draw to you. My fall to you is a memory to resort to, so I can think of flashbacks, trap that location and map that, place it out back. See, I see it now. I see it now. I've got to keep a certain energy to keep it now. It's deeper now. I've got a plant on a high level just to reap it now. I seek it out. That seed of doubt is what I speak about now. I'm involved. I've evolved. I've resolved. My story's told. I will grow old, loving me, lovingly, love and see, hide and seek, find and speak. My depths are deep. My soul's been weak, but my mind is free. And my pages keep the very heart of me. I wholeheartedly give. Please receive. All praise be to the creator of me, because it might not be clear to see, but it's personal to me. My reflections, a reaction is an action, as I mentioned. My resentment when I'd consider my sentence on my mind's death row. Broken glass tiptoes, under feet although I'd walk fast and slow, 100-0. I know I now owe so much more to myself than an apology. Now I utilise that pain anthology. Now I'm one in a mil anomaly. I'm centered and still. I solemnly dare to speak honestly of my peak. Now I'm free. Now I'm freed. Please heed my need for you to be happy just like me. Because although my words scream, acknowledge me. And my socials are set for you to follow me. This time last year I could barely breathe. And all I really mean is just stop and see how you can change your point of view. Because having faith and loving myself and learning to love changed me. Thank you.
Come on, keep it coming. Round of applause for YA Poetry. Fantastic. Now you have opportunity for one more break. We're going to take one more quick break, 10 minutes. Please do continue to write your haikus. It's not too late to be entered into our competition for a free ticket and your chance to appear on Premier Gospel Radio. So please, write your haikus, take some pictures, be back here in 10 minutes. This is your final break, make the most of it. Thank you.
I heard a statistic recently that's been keeping me from sleep. 1 person every 2 weeks leaps from the Golden Gate Bridge of San Francisco into the murky waters of the deep. And that fall lasts for 4 seconds at 86 miles per hour, colliding with a current by which they are devoured. And now I can't stop the visions about the little decisions that might have been made from when they woke up in the morning to when they went back to sleep again, and my heart hurts as their fellow human. See, for some reason, I'm assuming that maybe they got the tube in, read the morning news on a paper given to them by some dude that they would meet on their commute, and I'm thinking, what do they have for breakfast? Did they make a bowl of porridge and pour a glass of fresh orange? And what shoes did they wear? And what color were their socks? Were they the thin ankle ones that they would wear when they played squash, or the thermal type? The ones that wear when they would hike around the city hills at night, overlooking San Francisco city lights? And did they decide to style their hair? Put that real cream in their fingers and stare into the mirror? Their mind elsewhere, but their reflection consistent as ever, because it is always there. And did they decide to lock their door, knowing that they were never coming back? Well, if it did, it connected us. I did the same when I left my flat. You and I, London, Boondocks, we are connected. And I wish we made that clearer. It might remove some of the fear we feel when we view each other's exteriors. I've been going to a prison once a month, and I sit with these men and try not to think about what they've done, because when I do, our connection gets severed. And that distance that grows between us is so large it can't be measured, because these men are modern day lepers. They're men with bells around their necks, because I judge them for a sin by a moral standard I've never met. And yet, it's the same process I use when I turn a stranger into a shadow, a shopkeeper into a transaction and a criminal into an animal, but we are human. And isn't that the goal, to become human? Fully here, fully present, interwoven, restored ruins, but we have made such a connection with failure and then rejection, success and then acceptance, that we can't have a conversation without preconceived misconceptions. But I don't want the first time my daughter to hear that I love her to be when she brings home an A, or for my son to know I think he's amazing just because he scored his first goal in a game. I want to tell her while she's brushing her teeth. And I want to sing over him while he's still asleep. I want us to eat with the strangers that we meet in the street, because our hearts of stone become hearts of flesh when we learn where the weary ones weep, and we go to where the broken ones live, and we make life warmer than that water that flows under the Golden Gate Bridge. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. My name is Joshua Luke Smith. I didn't write that intro that was read out. I appreciate you reading it. It sounded like a Wikipedia page. It's amazing to be here tonight. And can we just give it up for all the incredible, unbelievable poetry that's been shared tonight? It's been spectacular. I just came in tonight and I was going through Victoria Station, and there was this small stand with roses set up. And there was this queue that was running all the way through the station of men just standing to collect a single rose. And it just made me laugh looking at all these men. And on the way to the tube, I was just thinking about this day, Valentine's Day, and I love what's been shared tonight. I'm like, we shouldn't have one day to honor love. We should continually do it. But today especially, I've been thinking about this sermon that I heard recently, and it was this preacher just kind of going off on the story in Genesis about Eve. And he was talking about Eve taking the apple and how she was deceived. And he was going on and on for about 15 minutes, just kind of this tyrant preach. And the whole time, all I was thinking was, where was Adam? And we find out later about Adam, but in that moment, where was Adam? And he never talked about Adam. And as he was talking about Eve, all I could think about was perhaps Adam's sin in that moment was his passivity, the fact he just wasn't there. And I think on Valentine's Day, what I feel most challenged about as a man is not just can I do something romantic, but can I show up and be present, not just today, but the next day and the next day, because the whole idea of collecting one rose today kind of symbolizes this thing of, hey, I'll be present today. And so I wrote this piece a little while ago, and I wrote it when my little sister turned 13, and I saw her becoming a teenager, and I became increasingly afraid of her becoming a teenager because I knew she'd be meeting men, boys that were like me when I was a teenager. And so I was on the bus one day, and I saw these kids coming out of school, and I just wrote this poem. I was looking at all these young girls coming out in their uniform, walking towards the bus, and I was thinking, why do these young girls dress so old? They hide cigarettes behind their back and say their breath's just cold. And that drama makes the mascara run because it's hard to have fun when you're acting colder than a stone, knowing that your heart is not as hard as one. And they ain't acting their age because they're actually afraid. So they're acting like somebody else, like they're acting on stage. And that tactic's to attract, to subtract from the pain of feeling trapped in your skin like you're trapped in a cage. Little sister, why do you deny yourself? You have riches hidden in your heart. It's called a treasure chest because it's buried deep inside yourself. And yet you've been given diamonds to men who didn't find them. And they ain't pioneers, they're pirates. And they're too afraid of the quest that requires them to stand up against the tempest and slay the beast inside of them. What man deserves gold he hasn't fought for? These daughters are worth more than those distorted thoughts that extort her, acting like you bought her. You own nothing. And you've been thinking that she's yours. So you've been feasting on her naked flesh, thinking that you're yours. Man, you've been thinking that she's yours. So you've been feasting on her naked flesh. Joshua, I said this to myself this morning when I rolled over and I looked at my wife. Joshua, raise the measure. These women are true treasure. Men in the building, just look to your right and your left and see the women sat beside you. Raise the measure. These women are true treasure, and we've been acting like Hugh Hefner, trapping them inside our mental mansions. That's why we have a generation of playboys and not men who know how to romance them. It's like Marilyn Manson kidnapped Marilyn Monroe and held her for ransom. She's a damsel in distress. You're just a man with bad breath, hands on her breast, trying to get her respect for the fact that you think that you're handsome. We have forgotten who we are. We put our brothers behind bars and we gave our sisters scars, and in trying to become stars, we have trampled on our sons. And so our solar systems became soulless because our spirits became numb, and our hearts have become empty. For without honor, we have nothing, even in this land of plenty. Wow. Thank you. Can I share a poem that I've really never done before? I don't know about any of you, but 2018 felt like a brutal year. I lost my best friend in the summer, and I've been trying to write about it, but I just haven't had the words to say because I haven't really been speaking about it honestly. And so I just didn't write. I thought, Josh, you're such a cliche because you just want to write a poem instead of dealing with the emotion. And so I went through just a period of just being numb and angry. And then one evening I sat down and I started writing. I thought, I got to say something about this, whether I ever share it or not. And I just sat down there and I thought, you know what, I'm going to share it tonight because this is the gathering of poets. So this is a safe place to share something like this. But this is for you, whoever's lost someone. This is for you who sat in here tonight in Boondocks in London feeling like perhaps the story's over and maybe tomorrow isn't worth waking up for. I wish the world would stop moving. Or I could wake to find it's all been fake, just like my name is Truman. Because if none of this is true and it's all an illusion, then we didn't really lose you and I can move past the confusion. I keep playing my acoustic, just praying that through the music I can find a way to shake the sense that every day is useless. They say that you get used to it, but there's a chair where you used to sit. And there's a silence in the air that only your voice could ever lift. Every day feels like Everest, because every step is another prayer questioning heaven like, why could you not wait a bit? If every second is precious, why could you not delay a bit? I'm trying to make sense of it, but every attempt is derelict, because I thought it was answers I was asking for. Until the day I saw you look like Moses in the basket, drifting far away from shore, and saw we're all sons and daughters that will one day take the waters, drifting towards a kingdom far from these earthly borders. And the silence still tortures us. From dawn to dusk, every morning I have thought the thought that perhaps